How's it going, guys? It's Najam. Welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'm going to review the Michelle & Johnson's MJ2s. So these are discontinued pair of headphones that have a hybrid design, and that means you can get them really cheap. If you look on Amazon, these are going for like £500, but look on the used market and you can get these for really cheap. And that's because these didn't stick around for long. Michelle & Johnson's have sort of stopped working. They don't make these headphones anymore, so these are discontinued, and they didn't sort of take off, so they're kind of almost like a hidden gem. So these I got for £150, which, considering if these cost like 500 brand new, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty cheap. Now, so as you can see, these are made out of wood. They're, in my opinion, they look really nice. There's the Michelle & Johnson's logo. The condition I got them in is pretty much like almost like new. They don't have any scratches on it, so this is like real wood and all that. And then the headband has that written over it. There's that. So let's just get straight into the review. So these are actually pretty small, so they're portable and they sit on your ear, so they don't go around your ear, these ear pads. These are really soft and cushiony. They're really comfortable for short periods of times, and I'll get onto that in a bit. These are portable, so you can fold them up like this, and then like that, and then you can sort of carry them around. They come with a carrying case, so that's pretty cool. The other thing is they're really efficient. So while these do have an electrostatic driver in them, actually it's an e-start driver, but it's really the same thing. These are 32 ohms, so you can actually use them with your smartphone and all, and I did use them with my phone to see how they sounded and stuff. Mainly I've just been using them with my Core Electronics Hugo 2 and my tiny little hi-fi rig. And I mean, even as of right now, I haven't reviewed the Hugo 2, but this thing is just still the most high-end DAC, portable DAC. Anyways, so let's get on to the bad stuff first, because they're small and I'll get those out of the way. Then we talk about the good stuff, and of course that is the sound quality. Actually, I just want to touch on the build quality in just a bit. This is actually a good thing. So they're made out of metal over here. As you can see, this is metal. Everything is metal. These are wood, so you can sort of hear them creaking around just a little bit, but when wearing them it wasn't really an issue. So there's that. This here is really stiff and crap. But yeah, let's get into the bad stuff. Now, number one is the cable. This cable is the most stiff cable I've ever come across, and it's made out of, well, I don't know, I don't really care, but it's low quality. As you can see, it's made out of the generic rubber. That's not the bad thing though. The bad thing is, well, I mean, it's a low quality cable, but the wiring in this has been switched around, because these plugs here, you can plug them in whichever way you want. So I can just unturn this just a little bit, and then, I mean, you can just plug these in whichever way you want. That's a good thing, but they've had to just mess around with the wiring inside it, and that means you can't use the third-party cable, right? So this is a low quality cable, and while it is nice to just pick them up and plug these in whichever way you want, I would have appreciated a third-party cable, because I honestly don't know who the heck does this. Like, once you got them plugged in, you're gonna leave them there forever anyways. Like, it's a bit daft if you're asking me, but yeah, that's a bad thing. I can't really get a third-party cable, and I know that you can make a custom one and you can improve the sound quality, but like, I ain't got time for that. Anyways, so that's one bad thing, and the other bad thing is the comfort. Now, these are the stock pads over here. Now, at first, they're really comfortable and they're really soft, so they sit on my ear really well. Until you just have them on for like half an hour. In my case, my ears go really sore and start hurting. So the comfort, these are like probably the worst in terms of comfort that I have headphones that I have heard. Even worse, well, actually, I don't know, 50-50. Sometimes I get them in a position where these are really comfortable, and that's funny because I don't know, like, so all of a sudden I just put them on and they're in a certain position on my ears, the way that the earpods sit on my ears, and they don't sort of like, they're not uncomfortable that way, and so I can wear them for like forever. but a lot of the times when I put them on, my ears start hurting, and that's not nice. Now there's actually a solution. I've got some earpods coming in. They'll be coming in next week or so. So I'll have a review. I'll switch these out and I'll put those on, and I'll have a video coming out. But yeah, the comfort is not nice and the cable isn't. Let's get to the good stuff, and that is the sound quality. Now I'll tell you what, when you use these with the smartphone, one thing I did notice, and it's probably because of my phone, the bass was muted, and that's I don't know if it has anything to do with power. I don't think it does, because I did use this with my desktop DAC, which isn't all that powerful, but it sounded pretty normal, just like the Hugo 2, except it wasn't Hugo 2 quality. But I think it's because my phone, the bass was muted sounding, and it sounded really flat and dull and boring. And I thought that the way the cross-feeding circuitry works, so these are hybrid, so you can, I don't know if you can see this, there's a dynamic driver for bass, and then there's an E-stat driver right up there that does the mids and the highs, and these go up to like 50 kilohertz, which is spectacular. And after listening to them, I can tell you that yes, these do produce those really high frequencies really well, and so these definitely go up to like 50 kilohertz. The tonality in between the instruments and all that, they sound pretty good, and I can tell the difference between something limiting it off to like 20 kilohertz and then, you know, comparing to this, which goes up to like 50 kilohertz. If you run more power through these, so the Hugo 2 has a decent amount of power for these, even though these are really efficient, you'll get better sound quality, and you know, because they'll be powered more. So these work just like speakers. There's like a cross-feeding circuit going on here, and that does the cross-feeding between the mids and the highs that the E-stats take care of, and then the bass, which is taken care of by the 40mm dynamic driver. The sound signature is pretty flat. I'll say that they are just a little bit light on the bass, but it's not missing anything. After listening to them, I think I really like the sound quality. The bass is not too much so that it's overpowering or anything. It's just the right balance. So these are not for bass head. So if you listen to EDM or something which has a lot of bass, these are probably not gonna do it for you. I'm just saying. But these are for audiophiles, right? So anybody who's like a proper audiophile, I don't want to say, you know, like EDM music is an audiophile stuff. Of course it is. But these are just a little bit light on the bass. I think they have a really good balance, really good sound. The bass is not too low so that it doesn't sound like an Grad or something. Open back headphone. There is some kick in there, so that's pretty nice. Now at first they sounded really bad because these need a lot of burn-in time, and one of the things is that the sound stage is a bit different. So these have what you call an out of your head sound stage. So normally you would have a sphere around your head when you put the headphones on, and everything happens in that sphere. These have more like a donut shape, or a ring around your head. So nothing goes in the middle. Everything's around you. After burning them in, they've gotten more towards like the sphere, so they're getting better. I've been using these for a long time, and you know, just after 3 days they sounded really good. So I'm really impressed with that. Now the mids are pretty much spot on. They're really airy, really 3D and everything. The attack, really fast. Exceptional amount of detail. And now in terms of the higher frequencies, the bass is fine, not slow or anything, it's just fine. The crossover is not dodgy or anything, it's like pretty much spot on really. Now the higher frequencies are actually quite a bit different, and I think these are the best highs I have ever heard. They're non-fatiguing, they have almost like zero sibilance, and that's the biggest difference that I find with these headphones comparing to even plain and magnetic headphones or whatever. These have very low sibilance, and at first I thought they just tuned that way to sound really smooth and stuff like that, but it's just that they're really fast and that they can produce those high frequencies really well. And the highs on this are just, it's like they're endless, right? So it's nothing sort of clipping them or anything, nothing's sort of holding them back. And this is using them with the Hugo 2, obviously it has a lot of headroom in terms of volume, so you get that kind of feeling in it. But the highs, they sound so good. Like no matter what I listen to on these, it just sounds so good. So all the cymbals in the drum kit sound exceptional. And at first, I mean, I did think that they're missing something, like maybe they dropping some frequencies off to get that. But once you sort of concentrate a little bit, try to pick out those details, they're all there. So I don't know, like, what's going on with other headphones. These are just on a completely different level. Like, the high frequencies are just amazing, like really airy, really 3D. They're just sort of, they're like endless. So as soon as the cymbals hit, just everywhere, like it's just really, really good. The imaging, the soundstage is really, really good. One of the things is with this is binaural audio sounds just believable. I mean, it really tricks your head in easily just to think that if you listen to someone like Pink Floyd, and they've got some binaural audio in A Momentary Lapse of Reason, the first song, Signs of Life, I think. It starts off with in a boat or with some waves crashing, and it sounds so real on this. I know I've said that previously with like other headphones and all, but this is on a different level. And I mean, it's like crazy, innit? Like, I can't really pick out and tell you about the songs that I listen to, because I've been listening to a lot and I don't know which ones to go over because I've kind of forgotten about them. But suffice to say, everything I listened to, these sounded really, really good on. I like these much, much more than the Tin Hi-Fi P1s, which is what I used. They have a different soundstage and they do have more clear, more transparent, more clear, watery bass. These have a dynamic driver type of bass, so they sound more thicker and stuff. They do have more bass than the P1s. They're pretty much well balanced. Anything I really listen to, classical, opera, soundtracks. I've listened to death metal, heavy metal, and all the other types of metal. And then I've got some rock. I've also listened to reggae music, so Bob Marley. I listened to Jeff Buckley on here, so Hallelujah and that kind of stuff. I mean, really, you listen to anything of these, and jazz as well. It just sounds really, really good. Like, there's nothing bad to say about them. So here's the thing. Because these are discontinued and they kind of don't really exist in this world since they're not popular, if you can actually find a pair of these, pick them up right now. I've got some parts coming in which will sort out the comfort issue, and I'll have an upcoming video on that. But you know, using these, honestly, I can't really think of anything bad to say other than just nitpick on the cable and the comfort, which is fixable. So yeah, I am really, really impressed with these. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below. I know I haven't really gone over everything, but it's time for me to go, so see you later.